Hey everybody, Edo here, and the good folks at Tidepool Games have sent me along a copy of Sugartown. What the slogan here is: hard candy, mean streets, criminal fun. And actually they sent it along because they said that Murder of Crows, or that Sugartown reminded them of Murder of Crows, or Murder of Crows reminded them of Sugartown, and they wanted to know what I thought. So there are some similarities, certainly. Basically, you have in Murder of Crows, you're all racing to complete a murder in front of you, using different characters and motives and weapons to spell it out. And the first person to spell out their murder reveals it. But everyone's playing and sort of spelling out in front of them and interacting with each other. In Sugartown, there's a similar thing, but at the start of the game, there is a murder, but between candies. Then you have Waxy, Sucker Punched, Scotch, at the Mint Apartments, and it's got a really nice graphic design, actually. I really like the look and feel, sort of retro feel. But so this is set out, because I guess they didn't use the word murder, they just have this set murder that has occurred, and then as players, what you're trying to do is this is essentially in the middle, and you're trying to play cards in front of you to match it. And the first player to match it wins. And while playing these cards, you're basically, each turn is just draw a card, play a card, but you have to play into one of the different piles in front of you. So you might have the right person who's, let's say you might have the right attack, the Sucker Punch, which you've played, but then because of what you have in your hands, you might have to play over it with a Cherry Bombed or something like that. So you're sort of trying to make these piles, but since you're forced to play, sometimes you can override the piles. In Murder of Crows, that doesn't happen. You can override piles, but it just changes the story. It doesn't break your sentence. Then, on top of that, it really comes down to action cards. You can block people's piles. You can take things that were called, it's called flashback. You can take things from the bottom of the pile and move them up. And, you know, you've got like counters and a few other mechanics in here. Overall, I think it works. It doesn't quite capture as much of the narrative piece, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit simpler than Murder of Crows, just a tad. And Murder of Crows is pretty simple. Plays pretty quickly. To some degree, you know, sometimes games can go quickly based on card draw, or be a little limited based on the number of players. I mean, I think the game works and plays quickly. And it's a small single package game. This may not be available at retail. This isn't for a Kickstarter, but my guess is this is probably available directly from Tidepool Games or perhaps GameCrafter, but I could not imagine this being particularly expensive. So for a small little different game with an interesting theme, I think it works. I'm biased, I like Murder of Crows a little more, but they're both cool games and have you sort of playing into a tableau while trying to thwart other players from doing that. It's not heavy on take that, but certainly you are trying to win while stopping other players from this race condition of putting this out. So this is Sugartown. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.